Is Omnism a religion? Well, yes and no. On the one hand, it's really more of an observation than it is a system of beliefs. I mean, anyone, whether they're religious or non-religious as the case may be, could come to the realization that other people's viewpoints are just as valid as their own. Even an atheist who completely doesn't believe in the existence of God can realize that someone else who does has an equally valid standpoint to themselves. But here's the thing. People often need something to sink their teeth into, something to believe that's a little less vague than the concept of omnism. And that's why you'll have Christian omnists, or Buddhist omnists, or Taoist omnists, neo-pagan omnists. You could technically even have a humanist omnist. Now, a lot of times atheists kind of get left out of the equation, but not necessarily. Now for me, things are a little bit different. It's not one of being this kind of an omnist or that kind of an omnist. Instead, omnism is sort of something in and of itself, though I really hesitate in calling it a religion. See, I came from a very conservative Christian background, and somewhere along the way, I reasoned that if everyone all over the world and all their different belief systems and religions were on their knees every night or meditating on the source or God or the Great Spirit, whatever you want to call it, and asking for the truth, then how is it that he, she, or it was only speaking to Christianity, or in fact my denomination, or for all that matters me? And I came upon this hypothesis that somehow all of those different belief systems must be equally valid in some way. And eventually I did have to include atheism, because if you take a hypothesis like that out to its furthest point, you can't just include the things you like, you have to include everything. My journey was one of sort of climbing up the mountain and trying to look down on all the different belief systems to see what they really did have in common, what they were all reflecting. Right now, I think that this world has the greatest possibility of ever human history of making its way to the next point in human evolution. And here I'm not really talking about physical evolution, I'm talking about spiritual evolution. Due to common languages and technology, we're closer than ever before. There's all kinds of countries that have people from so many different backgrounds that it's harder and harder to be ignorant of that sort of thing. We can't just look at another group and say, oh, well, they're idiots and we aren't. We're coming to realize that we really are all the same in so many ways, and regardless of our backgrounds, ultimately it all comes down to the same thing. For me, it's kind of like peeling the onion raw, and I think we're about to peel off another layer. For me, this whole concept isn't one of figuring out everything. It's really just figuring out what the next step is. Everything that we've ever learned in all of our philosophies and our sciences and our religions have all come to this point, and I'm really excited to see where it goes next, and I'm kind of hoping that Omnism can help get us there. And, well, I think it will. I'm the Urban Omnist.